Oh, let's see if we live. What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in to the station, GEGP. It is March 1st, Saturday. What's popping with y'all? NFL Combine Day 3. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some players, but I want to mock. I want to make sure that we get to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to do a mock draft based on all the stuff that we just saw, everything we just saw. Dog is in the building. Appreciate y'all being in here. It's been a hectic Saturday. A lot of stuff that we wanted to see. Some things, maybe some disappointments. We're gonna talk about it all. We're gonna talk about it all. So I appreciate everybody for real pulling up. We're gonna do it tonight. We're gonna talk through some stuff that we saw today on the field in Indianapolis, and then just some of the initial thoughts and reactions. Some things that I've heard, some buzz, some noise that I see a lot of draft analysts talking about right now. Right now, with some of these top prospects. What's up, Cole World, Johnson, Jorge? Michael, we're just talking ball, vibing. Yeah, we're going to talk Matthew Golden, Tez Johnson, talk through the running backs, quarterbacks a little bit. We'll get to the quarterbacks. We'll talk through the QBs. Yeah, Alex, we just talking ball. You know what it is, man. You know what it is. Just talking ball. Omarion Hampton, did he move up? No, he did not. It's in the same tier, literally. Like the grades, you move the grades around. So some areas where you thought maybe he would lack a little bit of this, you move it around. He's in the same cluster. It's legitimately, I moved everything around. It's the same four. It's Ashton Genty, it's Omarion Hampton, it's Caleb Williams, Caleb Johnson, Quinshawn Judkins, Travion Henderson. You move them around, but they're still in the same tier. Landing spot is really going to be what separates them. And we'll talk about that because I do think there's some players that definitely helped themselves today. So where we going to start? Where we going to start? Yeah, man, Scott and Shane and Mitch doing the thing on DDFFB. Make sure you're following DDFFB. Fantasy football content is dope, man. Cody Smith in the building. What's up, Josh? GGP. Let's start with the running backs. Let's start with the RBs. We know no Ashton Genty, right? No Ashton Genty. So we were excited to see who could show up and kind of show out for the running back group. Let's pull that up. Combine IQ. Love it. Everything I've want to see, it's all right here. It's dope. So I think the big winner for everybody that I'm seeing, everything that I'm hearing, the big winner for the running back position today was a player who for 2 years dominated at Ole Miss, and nobody should be surprised that Quinshawn Judkins is good at football, but Judkins feels like the big winner. Played in that tandem role with Travion Henderson. Both of these dudes were good this year, but neither of them had those dominant type seasons that maybe they could have in the past. Henderson's freshman season, Judkins, what he did at Ole Miss. But there were a lot of questions about his speed, especially in the national championship game. He rips off an 80-yard run, and because he didn't get it to the zone, people said, he doesn't have home run speed. He goes out there at 221 pounds and runs 4.48, you know? And what I think is cool about this shit right here is it tells you their average speed, their speed at certain distances. And for the running back position, not often are you going to rip 40-yard runs, 50-yard runs. It just doesn't happen often. But you can see where he is at 10 yards. He's over a mile per hour faster than the average running back speed in this cohort. So this is great to see when you're seeing in 10 yards, he's hitting above average type speed. Judkins is a stud. I think when you look at that top tier, I do believe there is a tier of sorts, right? You've got Genty, Travion Henderson, Omarion Hampton, Quinshawn Judkins, and I know people are disappointed with Caleb, which is 40 time 4.57 was not at all what I expected. I thought he would be sub 4.5, no doubt. But then you go to max acceleration for the running backs, and this is like when they hit top speed, how fast were they? He's got the same max acceleration, 5.54, as Bashel Tootin and Jaden Blue, who were tested way faster than him. So it's one of those things where play speed and time speed doesn't align, but Raheem Sanders was a big riser, I think. He looked more like the Rocket Sanders from Arkansas. He was fast and he's big as hell. So he had to be good. Tootin, you knew he was a blazer. If you watched anything at VTech, return kicks, going out there and dropping a 4.32, I don't want to overlook that. Vertical jump was dope. Broad jump was dope. He's worked his way into, you know, depending on what team needs one of those type of backs, early round three, early day three, in the round four, round five range, Tootin could be available. Who else looked good? DJ Giddens, I thought he looked good. 4.43 out of Kansas State, another one of those day three running backs. I believe Player Profiler put out a tweet that basically said like there was like 15, 16, 17 running backs over the 70th percentile speed score. So really good running back class. And I think a lot of the names that we wanted to see test well, they went out there and did the damn thing. So I do think we'll see a couple of running backs in the first round. And I think we end up seeing a couple of RBs go round one. So much for the combine not meaning anything. The combine isn't going anywhere. Man, it absolutely means something for Rocket Sanders. It absolutely meant something to Quinshawn Judkins. It did. But I also, on the other hand, look at how many players were hurt today that didn't have to do it. Had Isaiah Bond, just let's go right to the big elephant in the room because he had the loudest mouth in the room. And we're gonna do the mock in a minute. But Isaiah Bond, he said, had he not went out there and said that I'm gonna run 4.1, 4.2, even though we all kind of knew that was bullshit. You're not running that fast. But he had people really thinking that he could challenge Xavier Worthy for the record. People were saying he was neck and neck with Worthy, and there's a real chance you go out there and you run a 4.4, which is still fast, but it's like now people are like, really? Had he not run, we all would have still thought this dude was a 4.3, sub 4.3 type player. And his on-field speed may signal something completely different. But the combine, he probably shouldn't have done anything. Especially when you talk about it and then you go out there and you don't back it up. How many top 100 running backs, Jeremy? I don't know. So many of them look good. Go look at just the numbers. Damian Martinez looked awesome. Brashard Smith, great. Judkins, great. Giddens, great. Tootin, Raheem Sanders. Like these dudes look, I mean, it's just awesome. Yeah, Jen couldn't even beat his own team. And Marcus Golden, Matthew Golden. We'll get to Matthew Golden in a little bit. It's going to be interesting. We're gonna pull up the mock draft board because I want to talk through this. But there are a lot of people now, so whether it's real or fake or smoke, there are a lot of people now who are waffling on Tetero and McMillan. A lot of people are waffling on Ted McMillan. And I've also seen some draft analysts waffling or at least putting it out there that Mason Graham is not this top five lock of a defensive line prospect. If you think I'm bullshitting, if you think I'm lying, I'm flying. I ain't gonna lie to you on a Saturday night. I'm feeling good. Had baseball today, opening day. Little man hit a home run. I ain't gonna lie to y'all tonight. Hit the subscribe button. Thumbs up for Lil Man. Home run. 5 runs in the last game. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. People are saying Mason Graham ain't all that. Great, very talented prospect, but not a top 5 pick. I heard Ollie looked like Ollie. Whatever you expected Ollie to look like, I heard that's exactly what you got out of Ollie. I heard Woody's 4.58, not that good. Looked great in the receiving game, and that's what he's got to be, man. Woody's got to be that. Ollie, yeah, 4.6. I knew his 4.53 was not a good line. Not a good line. All right. Tennessee. I don't give a damn what they're saying right now. At this point in time, I do not believe that they are going to pass on a quarterback. It is hard for me to believe that in Callahan's second season, after having dealt with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph last year, that even as good as Abdul Carter is, that he's going to go into this season with Will Levis or spend a bunch of money on Sam Darnold or try to bring in Aaron Rodgers. You got the keys to a franchise. You got a new GM. He didn't come in with Rand Carthon. You got a GM. I'm assuming he had some hand in that selection process. You just start fresh. It makes the most sense for Tennessee, in my opinion. So right here, At one, I do think they go quarterback, and it seems like the consensus QB1, no doubt about it, is Cam Ward. Cam Ward's going to Tennessee. I think that's the appropriate pick. No hopium stuff, no big brain. Tennessee needs a quarterback. Cam Ward's the best quarterback prospect. At least that is what the opinion of the consensus is. Get your damn quarterback, Tennessee, which leaves Cleveland in an interesting spot, man. Yeah, Stanley, 461 is fine. He's 220 something pounds, 230. Woody is a receiving back. Absolutely. Yeah, Gordon in the 220s, not the 230s. Agreed, agreed, agreed. Keep the comments coming. I'll get to it after we get a couple of picks in. Let's talk through Cleveland now. Cleveland's on the clock at 2. They need a quarterback. Everybody knows they need a quarterback. I know it, you know it, they know it. But they're not taking Shador here. They're not, and it's not. They're just not doing it. And I'm not saying this to diss on Shador, but they're not taking him over Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. They're just not going to do that. I don't believe Cleveland's going to do that. I believe they'd go in a multitude of other directions, which is take a shot on a quarterback later, find a veteran quarterback, bring in a bridge quarterback. But I don't think that they're going to go Shador Sanders or Jackson Dart here at 2. With Myles Garrett saying, I ain't coming back, it's not happening. They got to replace him, or at least try to start the process of replacing him. So we're not doing any trades in this mock. They're taking Abdul Carter at 2. Giants are now on the clock. Now shit gets fun here, right? Woody is raised 2025, Kyron and Bucky. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have Woody, period. Telling y'all. He's not top 5 anymore. I know I said that in C. He's not top 5 back. He's an awesome receiving back, but he ain't no damn top 5. But I will have him. He'll be available late in every rookie draft. The fun starts with the Giants. There was thoughts that they could get Matthew Stafford. That didn't happen. There's this talk about Aaron Rodgers, maybe Sam Darnold. This is one where when you look at the Giants, let's just speak positive about the Giants right now. Offensively, you got a young tight end that you think you can build around. I think their receiving core of Wan'Dale Robinson, of course, Malik Neighbors. And if you can get something out of Jalen Hyatt, as you don't got to be great, just be serviceable, along with their running back. And I believe Singletary was on a 1-year deal, but they've got Tyrone Tracy. Andrew Thomas, one of the best left tackles in football. We know he wasn't healthy this season. And defensively, you've got a nice defensive front. You've got a core, some nice young secondary pieces with Nubin and Andrew Phillips. You've got Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns. If they can get a quarterback that can consistently get the ball out to those weapons, I don't think the Giants are a bottom 3 team in the NFL. We are just a couple of years removed from them winning a damn playoff game. I'm not saying that they're great. I'm not saying they're going to be this year's Houston Texans. But what they need a quarterback to get the ball to the damn playmakers. Get it out quick. You don't need to be a superstar, especially in this division. This is the spot where if Shador were going to come off of the board, I think it would be here. I think the Giants could do it right here. I think they could do it right here. But they don't. They take Travis Hunter. I say all that about getting a quarterback. I'm having a hard time buying that he's going to go here at 3 with Hunter on the board. With Hunter off of the board, I honestly think at that point, outside of Ashton Genty, everything is on the table. You've got QB1, you've got an elite edge rusher, and then you've got an elite playmaker, wide receiver, cornerback, and then an elite running back. I don't believe anybody would say there's any more elite players at this point. So take Travis Hunter. The Giants add Travis Hunter. They've got a high second-round pick where they can invest in a quarterback or use that to trade back up into the draft if they so choose. We're not doing it here at this mock. Puts New England in, I think, a shit spot. I really do. I don't think Ted McMillan is appropriate here. The more I just watch people talk about Mason Graham, are you taking that D tackle there at 4? Okay. Warren, Jahad Campbell, there's Will Johnson. What do you do? What do you do if you're New England right here? If I try to trade back and take Tyler Warren, people hate that. Nobody wants Nobody wants Will Campbell. Anytime Will Campbell gets mocked in New England at 4, he's too short armed of a player to take at number 4. You can't do that. Okay. Then where do you go, Pats fans? This is the first time I've done a mock live to where I can ask this question and get on air live feedback. Where do you go, New England? And think if or is Mason Graham that dude? Do we think the Giants or Browns are interested in trading back? I'm sure they all want to trade back. I'm sure they all want to trade back. Jason said, "Got to be Hunter." Sucks Tet didn't test. Free neighbors. Come on, Pats. Pats. What do we have? Mimbu. Neighbors and Hunter fun no matter the number of snaps. Pats. Yeah, Pats in a. This is a weird spot. Hey, listen, if the Giants taking Hunter puts him in a tough spot, we'll gladly trade with them. Drake. Will Johnson. Okay. Graham is that dude. He's going to be a top 5 pick. I want Trav, but could be a. I thought Shamar Stewart too. I shit you not. I didn't know I was gonna go Hunter here. So when I was pre-show, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put Shamar Stewart in Jacksonville over Mason Graham." Like I was watching some scouts talk back and forth about production versus traits, and when rubber meets the road, and you've got a player who has Myles Garrett level traits, yet poor production, and you got to choose between the two, you choose traits over the production. You bet that you can mold that thing into some version of what you're comparing them to. I Coming out of the combine, it's not chalk anymore. Like these mocks can't just be chalk. Travis is gone, trade back. We can't trade back. That's not the exercise. And it's Mason Graham or Campbell. Will Campbell. People are saying Will Campbell. I think they're taking Campbell. There it is. It's the first time I've done this shit live. So I'm going to take the feedback of the people. They're saying it's Will. You see, I got it pulled up right here for Josh Simmons because if you want to tackle, then I was going to say Josh Simmons. I know he's coming off an ACL, so you're like, oh man, you can't do that high. So okay, Will Campbell it is. It stays chalkity chalk chalk. Will Campbell to New England. The people made that happen. Jags are on the clock, and I am going to do what I just said. Now, is this a spot where Liam Cohen gets wild and because of the success of his missed tackle monster, Bucky Irvin, and knowing that this dude is, what Bucky did, Ashton Genty did on steroids, is there a small dark horse chance that Jacksonville entertains Ashton Genty? If not, we're talking about what happened at the combine. I'm not just saying that. For those of y'all who didn't see Shamar Stewart, his testing measurables, size, speed, athleticism, right on par with Myles Garrett. In some areas, better than Myles Garrett coming out of A&M. Yes, the Myles Garrett. James Pierce, also 4.47. Crazy because he didn't have a high vertical jump, but the speed and the explosiveness was there for Pierce. Ezraku had a good combine as well. But I think this right here at 5, they said they won't take Genty. They'll pass on Genty. This is O-line. We're desperate for edge. Shamar. See, that's where I'm going. If you're saying O tackle, if you're saying the Jags at 5 are going offensive tackle, the best O tackle right now on the board is Josh Simmons. And I don't care. I don't really care where PFF has him ranked. This is Trev's ranks, right? I don't. That's dope. But a lot of people do think Josh Simmons is the best tackle on the board. I don't know if you pass on Stewart here at 5. Listen, I know it. I know it. I know. I know it is just it's reaction to the combine, but I do think that the reaction to Shamar Stewart, especially depending on how Mason Graham does at his pro day, I can easily see a flip flop of Stewart. I'm gonna tell you right now, Nick Scorton's back in round 1. He looked nothing like we thought he was going to look when the early reports about him being like a 290-pound edge at A&M, and then you hear what they were actually asking these guys to do and how slimmed down Scorton looked. Shamar Stewart, we're doing it right here, Jacksonville. Shamar Stewart goes 5th overall to the Jags, which puts the Raiders on the clock at 6. They've got Mason Graham on the board. I know somebody who would not like that. Ashton Genty there, Jade Barron, incredible combine, balled the hell out. Warren, they're already talking about trading. I saw that they're putting Michael Mayer on the block, Las Vegas, or at least entertaining them. You got Pierce off the edge. You got Will Johnson. You know, you don't have to. We don't have to just go chalk with Ashton Genty. You got Will Johnson. Genty came in. I think his height was 5'8". See, 5'8", 217. I think 5'8", 217 was his official height and weight. And I saw Jordan Reed comp him to D'Angelo Williams. I think that's a solid ass comp. I'll say this. That's a better damn comp than LaDainian Tomlinson. You know, like that's a better comp than LaDainian Tomlinson. Come on, man. First of all, that's unrealistic expectation for the player, and then it's disrespectful to LT. Come on. D'Angelo Williams is dope. Are you taking D'Angelo Williams at 6? Raiders Nation, y'all get a chance to influence this pick. What are we doing? Yeah, Nick looked great, Garrison. He did. Feels like another Trayvon Walker situation. He's talking about Shamar Stewart. Where we at here? That's a really good comp. Yeah, D'Angelo Williams. I thought that was a really good comp. So I'm asking Raiders Nation, are you taking D'Angelo Williams here? Or is this the spot for Shedeur Sanders? That's what I'm thinking, Stiley. Is this the spot where the Raiders on the board, on the clock? Yes, you've got Mason Graham. Yes, you've got that. But realistically, if we're talking about a realistic, I'm not taking Jade Barron at 6. Cody Smith says take Jade Barron. Cody Smith says take that Jade Barron at 6. I love Jade. I can't take it. Graphic 13 says Dart. So I'm cool with him saying Dart because that's just an opinion difference, right? He prefers Dart to Shedeur Sanders. No doubt. I've got no issue with that. Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion, is I would take over Jackson Dart. I think this is where the Raiders fans may not like it, but Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, going to Las Vegas. I feel like that spot made sense for Shedeur at that time. They didn't trade up. There it is right there. Yeah. Figs 2022 said Raiders not passing up on damn Sanders. So there it is. So I feel like this may be a little different with Shamar, but other than that, pretty chalk. Jets are on the clock at 7. You got Mason Graham, Ashton Genty on the board, Barron, Tyler Warren, Jahad Campbell. You got a defensive-minded coach and Aaron Glenn. Up front, Will McDonald came on strong this year. You got Sauce. DJ Reed is gone, so they got to replace him. Even though Jade Barron ran 4.39, I still don't know if you just want him to line up as a boundary corner and just say, go play that number 2. You want him moving around, right? I'm just putting it out there for people to think about. I'm going to the safety spot. Nick Emanwari is the super soldier of NFL draft prospects. When they start the 2025 draft prospect universe, when they start it, the first long, boring ass movie is going to be with Nick Emanwari because he came out and they gave him the super soldier serum. 6'3", 220, 43-inch vert, could have gone a little higher, 11-something broad jump, athletic freak. They're calling him Cam Chancellor. If you haven't watched the tape, he's not just a thumper, he's rangy. Is there a shot that a team takes him inside the top 10? Would it be the Jets? They need defensive back. They probably need corner more than Nick Emanwari. You got the Panthers at 8, but I'm putting it out there. I'm not saying that's what we're gonna do, but I'm just putting it out there. You got Mason Graham still on the board. It's probably Mason Graham, right? Jets go Genty. Nah, we can't go Genty. Dart to the Jets. Not here though, right? Tyler says, stop talking. I need Emanwari to fall to the Panthers in the second. Nah, pimp. That ain't happening. Them days long gone. I gave Emanwari to the Broncos a couple of mocks ago, and people hated it. Oh, man, never pass on Genty for him. I took Mason Graham. Mason Graham to the Jets. Regardless of maybe some disdain or some conversation about him not being this hyper elite prospect, this top 5 guaranteed lock, he's still a damn good defensive lineman. He's still elite to me. So the Jets kind of get a gift right here, grabbing Mason Graham at 7. Now the Panthers are on the clock. Panthers are on the clock. Man, I follow my boy, and I want to give his handle proper credit, but every prospect, I'm like, dog, y'all can't take everybody. Y'all can't have every damn player. Panthers on the clock at 8. Will Johnson would definitely be in play for me here. I think he's the best pure corner in the class. I think he's the cornerback 1 in the class is Will Johnson. I also believe Travis Hunter, if he were to declare as wide receiver, he'd be the best receiver in the class, or at least prioritized as that. Will Johnson did not test, so people are a little, I think right here, this is where Ted McMillan has to come off of the board, right? I know he's, I know he's fallen. I know he's fallen. Mel had him falling 22. Some other people think he might fall to Dallas at 12. If not Ted, talk me through another one. Right? Let's put Ted in Q. But who else could it be? Who else could it be? Could we go? Can you make a case for James Pierce? They lost Brian Burns. They had a historically bad defense. Can you make the case for Will Johnson? Again, historically bad defense. And as good as Ted is, think about some of the receivers like a Trey Harris that they might be able to get at 58. You know? Like I know we want to just be like tat. Or is there a case for a player that makes more team sense? And is it not Golden? Why not Matthew Golden? Huh? Jalen Walker? See what I'm saying? Are we now the thing with Walker is some people think he came in a lot smaller to be an edge. 6'1", was he 6'1", 240? 6'1", 240 and didn't test? See what I'm saying? Now we're thinking deeper. Panthers posted James Pierce saying he's going to be in the league soon. Will Johnson, Panthers need defense badly. Gino says Campbell or Pierce. I go Will Johnson or yeah, I don't think it. I can see them passing on Ted here because based on what people are saying, that Ted's like a 4.6 guy, and people care about speed. People care about the athleticism as a receiver. The perception. I saw somewhere they had him posted that projected like a 4.6. I don't think he's that. To me, that's a little disrespectful. I think Ted's a little faster than people give him credit for, but I'm not sure he is the wide receiver 1 on some teams. You get somebody who people were already mocking in round 1, like Matthew Golden. I thought he was more like graceful than the explosive one, and you guys do go out there and run a damn 4.29. You're like, wow, you know. So I think right here, Carolina is defense. You got Jalen Walker, you've got Will Johnson, you got James Pierce. I think the pick is James Pierce. I think the edge that his pressures that he's been able to generate in the SEC back-to-back seasons. It's not a joke. That's not a fluke. And then you've got the athleticism. He's got the burst. He's got the power. He had good size. I think he's got to stock up following the combine. So right here at 8, they do not take Tetero or McMillan. They don't take Will Johnson. We don't know the officials on Will yet. They take James Pierce out of Tennessee. Carolina goes Pierce at 8. They need defense. New Orleans on the clock at 9. Receiver, tight end, D-line. I'm not even finna fake the funk like I know what the hell New Orleans needs. What I've heard in the media is Derek Carr's going to come back and they like Spencer Rattler. That's all I've heard. That's all I've heard. So receiver, you got McMillan on the board. If they need a tight end, you got Tyler Warren on the board. If you need an edge, you got Mike Green, Jahad Campbell on the board. If you need interior D-line, you got that available. If they need just tell me what y'all need, New Orleans fans. Jalen Walker. You need a Cam. You guys need a Cam Jordan replacement. Somebody to fill that role, to try to learn from him. You know what do the Saints need realistically? Who in here is a Saints fans? Panthers need a lot, can't go wrong. Will Johnson and Horn is a nasty duo. Grant Nolan edge. Adam Thielen was your best receiver. Panthers, yeah, they're not taking No, I'm leaning Tyler Booker for New Orleans. Interesting, Trey. Going guard, interior O line inside the top 10. Warren, Tet can't fall this far. Why not? Why would New Orleans draft McMillan? Just tell. Don't he and Olave occupy similar do similar things? I don't know. Feels like tight end would be a bigger priority for New Orleans, right? Right? They don't have any tight end under contract. And is it Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren? I'm asking questions tonight because normally I just make these decisions on my own. I just pick the player who I want or who I feel needs to die. I'm asking y'all, and I'm trying to give y'all some time ahead. Think about Chicago coming up. But New Orleans, it says positions of need: receiver, tight end, D line. I'm eliminating receiver. New Orleans could get a receiver later. We're not doing that. They can get a receiver later on. Michael, Tyler Warren, no good contract. What don't they need? The hell if I know. That's why I'm asking, Figs. Needs a football team. Come on, man. And Caleb Smith said, can we draft a Mickey Loomis replacement? Y'all got to stick to the parameters. We can't sub out owners and GMs and all of that. Feels like New Orleans goes Warren, Foster Moreau, tight end one. Yeah, I think Tyler Warren fits. I truly am curious if Tyler Warren is tight end one on everyone's board. Neither him nor Colston Loveland did anything, so it's hard to be like one over the other. But Loveland was a legit 6'5", 10-inch hands, 250. Tyler Warren 6'5", 250. Both of these guys are studs, right? So New Orleans not having cornerback to replace Lattimore is not bad either. Let me just pull up the DBs. I think we're a little still outside of that range, Hunter. Jahdae Barron. I mean, he's like a man. You got Will Johnson and Barron on the board. Barron is more like that honey badger. Like he feels like Jalen Petrie, Mike Sanderstill, Tyron Matthew type. And I'm not comparing him to the honey badger because he should have won the damn Heisman that year. But you do have Will Johnson on the board. Some hate up in here. Y'all cracking me up. I love the chat. Loveland for me, but I'm an idiot. It's been reported Loveland won. Let's do it. New Orleans needs a tight end, right? We all agree on that. We've had some consensus on that. This is the first time I've seen it. It's the first time I've done it because and I don't want to be so arrogant to believe that I just know Tyler Warren is the universal tight end one. I can absolutely make a case for Colston Loveland. I absolutely can make a case that Loveland is the best tight end in this draft. Let's do it, man. Colston Loveland in New Orleans at 9. You've got multiple draft analysts saying he is a top 10 prospect in the class, period. So New Orleans, they reset with what I believe is a more comparable version of, if you want to go back, like what Jimmy Graham would be in Colston Loveland versus Tyler Warren. Bears on the clock at 10. Running back, center, guard, and edge for the Bears. Jason said Loveland Warren. Barron is needed in Baltimore. My Bears need O-line. All right, so we're talking O-line. We got the Bears, Niners, and Cowboys. So start getting your picks in for those, or at least the people we could discuss. I like this. This is fun. I appreciate you. If you tapped in, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you're following the fantasy football channel, DDFFB. Dope stuff on the fantasy channel. Appreciate y'all here. Let's go. 10 Bears. We're not taking a running back, are we? Is Ben Johnson gonna take his guy? Ashton Genty right here. You got McMillan on the board. They're not taking no damn receiver. Barron, Campbell, Green, Johnson. Where do the Bears go? Josh Simmons. That's been a common pick. That's been the easy button option. I'll tell y'all that right now. If you don't want me to dig and y'all just want to move on and just say the Bears need O-line, then we could just go Josh Simmons and keep it pushing. Take a kicker. Mike Green. Nah, Ben Johnson going Genty for sure. People love Mimbu. O-line to the Bears. People are saying O-line to the Bears. We're just going to do it. Josh Simmons, he's nasty. He's nasty as well. We're going Josh Simmons to the Bears. So easy button option. Now we have fun. Now we have some fun. We got some fun-ass teams coming up. 49ers just shipped Debo out of town. They are potentially, or at least reported, open to trading Brandon Ayuk. Okay. Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy apparently working on an extension, so Purdy is back. Niners are on the clock. This is the positions of need. The PFF mock draft thing says guard, tackle, D-line. Guard, tackle, D-line. Simmons is off of the board. So the next probably best tackle is off of the board. D-line, you've got a bunch of interior guys. You've got Will Johnson on the board. You have Nicky Manwari on the board. Isn't it reported that Talanoa Hufanga's on the move? You've got Jalen Walker on the board. Will Johnson, Jahdae Barron, Ashton Genty on the board. I don't want to fuck this one up for Niners fans. Where are we going? We're not taking inside linebacker right here, Daniel, are we? Tet to the Niners? Hey! Tet to the Niners? Burden here can be interesting. Will Johnson. Jahad Campbell. What about Campbell? You put Jahad. I'm gonna tell you right. Jahad Campbell and Fred Warner would be a nightmare probably. I'm not going to disrespect 49er greatness and go to Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis, but Jahad Campbell and Fred Warner would wreak havoc. Niners take best player available. Mike Green to the Niners. Will Johnson. Tet to the Niners. DB or Tet. Will Johnson. Banks dead. I don't know if Banks is dead, but I don't know if Banks is here at 11. Just based on what I'm hearing, Blake. I wish I could do the live vote thing because I sure as hell would vote this on Tet. Walter Nolan, Ayuk drama and money for nothing. If they trade Ayuk, Tet if they trade Ayuk, DB if not. Will Johnson plugged in again. Will Johnson. Tet or Mike Green. I'm gonna put one out there. I'm just putting this out there. Let's switch the board up. I'm putting this out there before we make the pick. Who says it ain't again? Who says it ain't Matthew Golden over McMillan? Why are we? And I'm just asking the question. Why are we so sure that a player who's ranked inside the top 25, who McMillan's been falling of late? Fuck what I'm saying. All the other draft analysts are saying he's been falling down the boards of late. Are you sure the Niners are going to take that player here at 11? I know it sounds fun, and I like Ted too. He's still my top dog. But if we're taking it based on what we're hearing and what we're seeing, are we sure that's the play here at 11? It's a spicy ass pick, no doubt. I want to do it for clicks. I think it would be clicky. But is that really where the Niners are going right here? And they're not trading Ayuk, huh? Outside of Pooney and Trent, the 49ers O-line is weak. Golden's analytics are too bad to go one. Tet, Will Johnson, Campbell, Mimbu. All right. I think the smart team play would be to go O-line, right? Everyone is telling me their offensive line is not good. But then a lot of people, 49ers people, say they wouldn't take a tackle this early. Armand Mimbu would be the pick for me, right? He would be the pick for me. But if you're saying best player available, we're just going best player available, not name Ashton Genty. Not name Ashton Genty. I don't know how Will Johnson is not picked. I really don't. I would love for Dallas to get him at 12. I would love to skip this so Dallas can take Will Johnson at 12. We wouldn't even have a conversation. Maybe we'd have a conversation. But I don't think they're moving Ayuk. It's going to be Ayuk and Pearsall. In my opinion, this comes down to two players. It comes down to Will Johnson or it comes down to an offensive tackle. And what everybody in Niners Nation tells me is they will not draft a tackle. They don't do it. Look, Right here. The Niners don't draft O-line in the first round ever. The pick for me, I'm going Will Johnson. If you're saying BPA is Will Johnson, not named Ashton Genty. Dallas is on the clock at 12. We'll have a conversation quickly. Ashton Genty versus Ted McMillan versus a tackle versus Matthew Golden versus Jalen Walker. I yeah, Juwan Jennings. I'm being disrespectful. You know, Dallas lost Hall of Fame guard Zach Martin. They drafted Tyler Guyton last year. You got Brock Hoffman there. They're gonna have to figure it out up front. I am sick. Dallas has got to figure this shit out up front. Figure it out. We're not drafting another offensive lineman here at 12. We cannot do it. Not with the caliber of players on the board. Not with McMillan, not with a Bear, not with a Campbell, a Mike Green. You've got Jalen Walker still on the board, explosive edge rusher. They need a running back. But y'all, we had what? 20 running backs, 70th percentile speed score. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I would love Quinshon Judkins at 44. We'd be just fine. Ashton Genty here would be great. Pro comparison was D'Angelo Williams. That's the pick. The pick. Jalen Walker. I'm willing to bet on that explosiveness. Ray, your boys need Genty. Genty to Dallas is too easy. Genty feels like what Dallas would do. Genty because of Jones. Believe it would be Golden. They can't draft running back at 12. I don't believe Genty met with the Cowboys, did he? I don't think he met with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think they take Genty, man. I don't think they take Genty. Not in this class. Gene is saying Jalen Walker. It's a tough pick. Man, it's Dallas, man. It's Dallas. It's not gonna be Ted McMillan. I don't think it's gonna be Ted McMillan, man. I I would like it, but I don't think it's gonna be Ted McMillan. I don't think it's gonna be Ted McMillan. If it were me today, it would be between Ashton Genty and Matthew Golden. It'd be between Ashton Genty and Matthew Golden. Those would be the two Cowboys picks. It ain't what I would do, but I think it would be more Matthew Golden than Ted. I don't think they're going Ted. I don't think they're going Ted. That speed of Golden, Texas. I don't think they would be going Ted. They just can't help themselves, man. What would Jerry do? Matthew Golden, you're a Dallas Cowboy. Matthew Golden is a Dallas Cowboy. I don't think it would be Ted. I like Ted more. He's higher rated for me. I think Dallas would go Matthew Golden here. 13. Miami's on the clock. They've got an incredible safety that is currently looking for a new home, right? Holland is no longer in Miami. He's going to be a free agent. They need guard, tackle, D-line. Colts fans, Falcons fans, get to thinking. Get to thinking so we can get to picking. This is taking as long as a real draft. We got to speed this shit up. We got to speed this up. Genty still on the board. Burden, Jade Barron at 8. Nick Eamon-Wari. We still have Jalen Walker on the board as well. Armand Mimbu, Kelvin Banks, offensive line. Where we going, Dolphins fans? Mimbu. Those are the first that I saw. Why not Warren? Here's the reason why not a tight end to Dallas. Because Dallas, y'all made y'all tight end bed, spending a second round pick 2 years ago on Luke Schoonmaker, and you got Jake Ferguson on the last year on his deal. Play it out. This is a deep tight end class. If you want to take a developmental guy a little bit later, Luke Lachey, Rondé Gadsden, fine. But you spent the second round pick on Schoonmaker, use him. No bailouts. Use your damn tight end. Mimbu or Mimbu, Eamon, Warrior, Baron. I could go Baron here as well. I can go Baron here. You got to protect Tua. Let's move on. Got to protect Tua. Armand Mimbu is the pick. Colts are on the clock at 14. Indy's on the clock. I I know. I know. He's white. He's rugged, and he wears number 44, and he plays tight end. It makes all the logical sense in the world. Anthony Richardson, not very accurate, so get him a big target that he can get the ball to and make things easier for him. But I need y'all to help me find somebody else because they also need defensive back, and you've got Jahdae Barron on the board. You have Malachi Starks. You have Nick Eamon-Warry, who just lit up the Indianapolis turf. You have Mike Green. You pair him with Latu. Is tight end at 14 the best possible pick for the Colts? Tyson says Chalk Warren. Jackson Dart. Dane D says Jackson Dart. I don't think they'll take Dart, but I love the pick. Eben Warry, Tyler Warren. I'm just Barron. I think Barron would be a great pick for Indianapolis here. Like Jahdae Barron right here would be a great pick. Doc says edge. Barron, they need serious help at defensive back. I'm not going on the beaten path of just chalk Tyler Warren. You know what? God damn it, Anthony Richardson, the 4th overall pick. Run the ball, get the ball to JT, get it to Pittman, get it to Downs, get it to Pierce. We'll get you a tight end in round 2 or 3. We got to focus on the defensive side of the ball. Somebody that's going to help us win. Jahdae Barron. Barron at 14. I really like that pick. It was Barron or Eamon-Warry for me. We got one for Green. All right, let's go. We got Atlanta, the Cardinals, the Bengals, and the Seahawks. I don't know why it took me so long to read that. No clue. But the Falcons and the Cardinals both need defensive players, so go ahead and get thinking about it. Okay? Bengals, they keep T. Higgins. They do the right thing and keep T. Higgins. So let's talk about the Falcons. We know they need help getting after. And look at you. This is how Ted McMillan falls. Literally, this is how he falls. We could have forced him in Dallas, but nah, man. You know, we could have forced it, but this is how he falls. Atlanta, they need help getting after the quarterback. I got a different pick. This has normally been Mike Green territory for me. This has been a spot where Mykel Williams, this has got to be Jalen Walker, I think, at this point. Is Walker still available? I kind of wanted to go Jahad Campbell. This has got to be Campbell. It's Mike Green. It's Jalen Walker. I think it's a little too high for my frat brother Rock Ezeraku. They got to go edge. Mike Green. Yeah, I think Jalen Walker. If we got it, it's okay to be a little chalky sometimes. And Walker's been going inside the top 10. I think right here, Atlanta, they get that playmaker. They get Jalen Walker, and then Atlanta. I'm at the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock here. D line is a position of need, and I believe Mike Green fits better here than Jalen Walker would fit in Arizona. So if you want to go defensive line here, you've got Mike Green to the Cardinals at 16. We're going to rock with that. Since he's on the clock at 17, now we have another conversation, folks. Oh man, fantasy football. I mean, sweatpants are moving. People got a hard on thinking about this landing spot. Tyler Warren is still on the board. Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock at 17. Mike Gesicki, wasn't he just on a 1-year deal? We already know that Eric All is going to miss with a torn ACL. This dude is rugged too. Bring some of that grit to Cincinnati. Always be available for Burrow. Is this a spot where they can go tight end? Even if they bring Higgins back, you got T. Higgins, Yoshi Voss, Chase Brown, Tyler Warren, and Uno. And we don't even need to say his name. We know who I'm talking about. Or do they do the responsible thing, draft a D lineman, like Walter Nolan or Kenneth Grant? I want to go flashy here. I want to flash. I want to flash, but is that what Cincy's going to do? Just Ted McMillan? Genty. Genty. I'm just reading the chat. Genty would be fucking nuts. Excuse my language. That would be nuts. D Walker 325 says don't overthink an O line. So what I've heard from Cincy fans is they don't need tackle. That they're fine at tackle. So are you taking Tyler Booker here? Are you taking Tyler Booker ahead of Tyler Warren or Ashton Genty? I think that's the problem. I don't believe the pick is Kelvin Banks here. Chase Brown is good too. He's cheap. They were really bad on D. I don't think it's Genty. It sounds fun. It's not going to be Genty. Grant or Nolan, desperate for defense. You know, as fun as it would be to put Tyler Warren here, like it sounds fun. I think when they have these type of quarterbacks, man, we'll get you a tight end, Joe. But right here, we got to fix this defense, and the defense is smelly. Right, the defense is not good, so they don't take Tyler Warren. They're not taking Ashton Genty, and they're not drafting Ted McMillan. Right here, they opt for interior. You can go Michael Williams, but in my opinion, who's ranked higher? Not this board, between Michael, Nolan, and Grant. I feel like it's Walter Nolan, but he's gotten kind of a bad rap after the combine a little bit for not doing some stuff. I don't know why. I feel like this pick has to be D-line, so we're going to go Michael Williams. That's the pick. Michael Williams to the Bengals. Seattle's on the clock at 18. All Seattle fans have told me for a long time is we need O-line. O-line, O-line, O-line. We need O-line and D-line. O-line and D-line. So Seattle, unless there's something specific in the hopper for Seattle, it's feeling like Kelvin Banks, Josh Connerly land for Seattle. Where are we at? Seahawks, Warren, Grant, Starks, Emenwari. I was saving him, man. Like, let me get to Tampa Bay, Denver, Pittsburgh with Emenwari. Nolan probably. Warren here. Banks for Seattle. Zabel too. O-line is where I'm thinking. O-line is where I was thinking. I'm going to pass on Zabel. Tyler Booker's also a common pick right here. We're going to go with Kelvin Banks out of Texas. A lot of people think he's going to kick inside. We'll go Banks here. We'll give Seattle offensive line help. Play interior, probably can play tackle guard, but we'll give him offensive line. And Tampa Bay, I believe Todd Bowles said this past week of the combine, he basically alluded to defense, that we have got to get after the quarterback. We have got to pressure. We've got to make shit happen on the defensive side of the ball. You got Baker. You got Mike. I know they're losing Chris Godwin possibly. So I'm looking at Tetairoa McMillan at 19. But I'm also looking at Jihad Campbell sitting right here. You've got him, and you've got Donovan Ezeraku. You still have Emenwari on the board. Now they got Whitner, an all-pro safety, so maybe you don't need to double down. Maxwell Harrison, just want to bring him up. Trey Amos, another good one. Siobhan Revel, good medical stuff coming out on him. I like doing this live. This is the first time I've done this to get feedback from the people. And we have Tyler Warren still on the board. I know Kate Otten and Payne Durham were all right, but is that stopping you from drafting Tyler Warren here? Tet and Baker to the moon. Egbuka would be so nice. Hunter Joe Green, I'm thinking Jahad Campbell too. Like that was my first thought, was Jahad Campbell. Tet is the Mike replacement. Genty to Denver makes sense. Jahad Campbell. Mike Green. We draft Mike Green's gone, right? Yeah, Green came off the board. Just want to make sure. Trevor said Jahad to the Bucks is a lock. Okay. Warren would be nice. I tend to agree. You get that kind of joker defensive piece right here with Bowles, edge, and a linebacker. That's exactly what Jahad Campbell is. Like literally, that's what he is. Edge linebacker. That's the pick. Tampa Bay goes Campbell. Denver's on the clock at 20. Denver's on the clock at 20. Much love, Adam. I don't ask for nothing but likes and subscriptions. Adam sent in a $10 super chat. Appreciate the offseason content. Appreciate your support, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, there is no offseason, Cody. Appreciate you anyway, though, Adam. Denver's on the clock at 20. So Sean Payton's talked about finding a joker. He's talked about finding an RB1. Denver's in a great spot. If you're talking joker defensively, Nick Emanwari. If you're talking joker offensively, Tyler Warren. If you're talking RB1, it's Ashton Genty. If I'm Denver, my shot clock's already at 23. All you got to do is touch it and it's over. I'm at 23 seconds on the shot clock. You touch it, it's over. This would be such a great spot for Denver. Who can I move back 2 spots with? Who can I move back? Hell, I'll take the risk that I can move back 3. It's just a great spot to be in. Who is it? Is it Genty? Is it Warren? Who is it? Emanwari. Which one is it? Which one is it, Denver? I'm seeing people. I'm waiting on the chat. Run up the damn card. Warren. This isn't happening, but I feel you. I don't know how it ain't happening. I mean, we're literally talking through every single possible scenario. Florosaurus says it's Genty. First to interview was Ashton Genty. Genty. Y'all, if the board played out like this, I too believe that a tight end would be in play. I also could see it being Genty, man. This is probably the hardest pick that I've had to make. And I can see it going both ways, man. I can see it both ways. I know he's talking about that joker, but then one also said we need a running back. Ashton Genty, you're a Denver Bronco. Ashton Genty is the Denver. He's the pick. You can't. If he's like that, I think that's what Peyton would do, man. I know Warren is the joker. I could have gone Warren. I wanted to do it, but Ashton Genty's on the board. I'm taking and I'm not saying that like Warren can't do what Genty might do, nor am I saying Denver is Philadelphia, and I damn sure I'm not saying that Ashton Genty is Saquon Barkley, but that team feels like it needs a running back, right? With Bo Nix, that's a good team. That was a playoff team. They feel like they need a dude. They need a tight end, no doubt about it. They ain't got no tight end, but they need a tone setter at running back. They need a fucking running back. Get Ashton Genty. Pittsburgh's on the clock at 21. I'm just gonna ask, is it okay? I know, again, I don't know the insides and outs of Pittsburgh. I don't claim to know this, but can I just throw out Malachi Starks or Nick Emanwari with Minkah Fitzpatrick? Would that work in Pittsburgh? Tell me. I don't know if it would or not, or is what they need a corner opposite Porter? It's saying positions of need: DB, quarterback, wide receiver. They're not taking a quarterback here. They're not taking Tyler Warren here. Ted McMillan and George Pickens do similar shit. If I were going to take a receiver for Pittsburgh, it would be Luther Burden, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, if Moggs, that's what I said. If the receiver, it seems like Burden fits the offense more than Tet does. No go Tet. I want somebody from Pitt. Really, like what's the vibe in Pittsburgh? I don't know. I don't have any insider. I'm trusting what they're telling me. Receiver, defensive back, positions of need. Is that defensive back corner? Is that defensive back safety? Is that Malachi Starks? Is that a spot where Mike Tomlin can get a player like Eamon Warry and just go crazy? Yeah, Igbuka's been a common pick. I picked Igbuka, but Igbuka didn't do nothing. Igb- I don't walk away from this feeling better about Igbuka, jumping him up over Burden, who came in 6 foot, 206 pounds. He looked just like DJ Moore. 4'4", Ted McMillan, 6'4", 219. Starks is a Steeler. Walter Nolan. If Starks makes it to Pittsburgh, I'll eat my hat. Why not Dart? Hayward ain't getting any younger. Dart, Grant, D-line, or Joker. D front. All right. Defensive front, you've got Walter Nolan and Kenneth Grant and Derek Harmon. You also have Donovan Ezeraku, speedster off of the edge. Burden, Lockett, and we move on. You know what? You're right. Fuck it. Burden. I think he makes more sense in Pittsburgh. He makes more sense, like legitimately. Put it this way. Burden makes more sense in Pittsburgh than he does in damn LA, trying to do the same shit that Ladd McConkey does. You want to talk about a fit? Now one of the two is going to come off the board. One of the two is going to come off the board. Ted or Warren here. Chargers on the clock at 22. Ted, Warren, Starks, Eamon Warry, Walter Nolan, Kenneth Grant. They're not going O-line, right? They went Joe Alt early last year. They're not going O-line. Corner, got Maxwell Harrison at corner. We got the whole allotment of corners. Maxwell Harrison, Trey Amos, Ezariah Thomas, Siobhan Revel, Darian Porter. We got the whole group of corners. Burden over Ted, though. Ted and Pickens occupy the same role to me. Coin flip the tight end. Tyler Warren, Omarion Hampton, Ted. All right, I'm making the pick. They need it too. There it is. Tyler Warren, 22 overall to the Los Angeles Chargers. Green Bay's on the clock at 23, and I've talked to a lot of Packers fans. A lot of Packers fans. They told me there's a certain type of corner that they like. There's a certain type of lineman that they like. And I know one of the linemen that apparently fit Green Bay land. They move him around even though they don't want that. Gray's Abel. Cornerback. I know from talking to Clint, there's certain type of cornerback, and they're available. We talked about it. Trey Amos, Revel, Harrison, maybe. Porter fits the build. But Tet's on the board. Tet's on the board. Garrison said Green Bay needs a corner bad. Kay said Zabel here. I know I'm going off of what Tet to the Packers, they need Tet. Get Jordan Love a true alpha. Now, and the only reason I'm not taking Tet here, the only reason is because aren't there reports right now that they're in the DK market? Just answer me that. Aren't they in the DK market? DK Metcalf. Jacob said just a bunch of degenerates in here. Yeah, man. He said love it. Much love, my guy. I meant Job said it, not Jacob. Excuse me. Just a bunch of degenerates. Love it. A lot of smoke about the DK trade. True about the corner. Yes, DK stuff is true. Okay. They'll get him. I mean, I don't think I think Seattle's probably motivated to move off of DK. So for that reason, we are going to pass on Tech. We're going to pass on Tech because they're not going to trade all their receivers, right? They're probably trading Jaden Reed or Dobbs, somebody like that. So we pass on Tech. We pass on Tech. We pass on Tech. So now it's cornerback, and they all say it. I'm doing it. Trey Amos, phenomenal combine. He ran 4.4. He's got that size. What's he, 6'1", 190, arm length that Green Bay likes. You could also go Maxwell Harrison, but he's a little smaller than Trey Amos. So right here, I think they do go corner, and Amos does fit the build. SEC corner, Trey Amos, 23 to Green Bay. Minnesota's on the clock at 24. Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan. We know they need interior defensive line. Also, running back is a position of need for the Minnesota Vikings. It says guard, D line, and cornerback. I kind of want to go Gray Zabel right here. I kind of want to go Gray Zabel. I kind of want to go Gray Zabel. Yeah, we're just drafting, right? You know, some teams might not pick round one. I don't know who's trading what. Reading the chat, Omarion Hampton or Henderson would be sick here. So I thought too. Zabel or Grant is where with the way the board is falling, like those are the positions of need, right? Gray Zabel. Ray, I'm from Minnesota. We need Trey Hendo. Hampton. Zabel makes sense, which means I won't make the pick. It makes too much sense. There's going to be another running back go round one, right? There's going to be another running back that goes round one. I don't know if it's here, though. I don't know if it's here. Kenneth Grant, you're going to Minnesota. Houston's on the clock. Receiver, center, guard, D-line positions in need. Walter Nolan, Egbuka. Hey, man. Ain't no way. Y'all got me on this damn stream. We've been on for over an hour. There's 1,500 people watching between YouTube and X. And y'all got me with Ted McMillan on the board at 25. And none of y'all are outraged, which I am disgusted by. Not at myself. I'm just the conduit of the message that y'all are providing. I'm disgusted with y'all. I'm disgusted that you have PFF's number 3 overall player still on the board at pick 25. And y'all thought Mel Kiper was out of his mind. And then you got the nerve, KS Scientist, the rapper, to recommend Egbuka over McMillan. Stiley just did it. Texans go Starks. And y'all aren't even advocating for McMillan. Frauds, man. Degenerate frauds in here, man. I'm outraged too, DG. I'm outraged too. Honestly, is McMillan a play here? I know they got Nico. Let's stop trying to fit what they need. We know they need a receiver. Best player available at the receiver position is Ted McMillan, right? Yes. Period. Ted McMillan is the pick. I don't want to hear they already got Nico. I know I did it before, right? I did it with Pittsburgh, but I'm not fucking standing for it right now. Executive order was signed by GQ. Ted McMillan to Houston. CJ Stroud. Yes, they could have used D lineman, but we're not doing that. Y'all ain't finna have me on here looking crazy. There's no way, right? There's no way. I don't want to hear they already got Nico. They need a receiver. They need a receiver. Best player available is Ted McMillan. We're gonna pass on him? Come on, Flosaurus. How fun would that be, though? Just think about Stroud. Think about Stroud with McMillan and Collins. And didn't they say they were open to bringing Diggs back, let him occupy that slot role? That would be pretty nasty. All right. Rams are on the clock at 26. I mean, they got Zabel. Now they got Stafford coming back. Eamon Warry is on the board. I know they have not. Nick Eamon Warry is still on the board. Are we gonna let Baltimore just get him or Malachi Starks? Is that what is Rams fans, help me out here. The pick that I always see here is Josh Connerly. That's the player I always see mocked to the Rams is Josh Connerly. Is that what it is? What's the pick? Ray out here killing Tank down, man. They already said Tank is prayers up to him, but they said he's not even next year. You know, they said that he's not gonna play. Probably not gonna play. Probably not gonna play next season. So, BPA, I'm with you. Eamon Worry feels good, but BPA, I think at this point, LA, they need, it says tight end. You can get a tight end later. They actually have picks. Tackle, I know they just re signed a tackle today. I know that, but they probably could use another one. Linebacker, when I, no, not yet. Well, if you're saying linebacker and corner, can you make the case for Eamon Worry? Can't, if this is saying linebacker and corner, and I know Eamon Worry's not a corner nor a linebacker, but can you make the case for Eamon Worry? Is that defense creative enough? Says they need tight end. Would they go Loveland if he fell here? Yeah, for sure. But he did not fall there. D line, they don't need D line. They don't need another Emeka Egbuka. Best player available, Malachi Starks. Let's move on. Baltimore's on the clock at 27. Receiver, tackle, edge, corner, positions of need for the Baltimore Ravens. Did I say the Eagles? Did I say the Eagles are on the clock? If I said the Eagles, I'm tripping. It's been a long day. It's Baltimore. I'm thinking Ezeraku, if you're wanting some edge. Gray Zabel is on the board for Baltimore. Gray Zabel is on the board for Baltimore. Do we allow Baltimore to just get this quality of a tackle right here? They could also go Eamon Worry to pair with. And the cool thing about Eamon Worry, because a lot of people are going to see the size and just be like, oh, he's Cam Chancellor, box safety. He's rangy. Tons of interceptions. He can move around. Nolan edge. People are saying it's Nolan easy. Don't they have Justin Matabuke and don't they have a solid interior D line already? Everyone is saying Nolan easy. Like this is an easy pick, Walter Nolan. All right, well, fuck it. Let's go. Walter Nolan to Baltimore. That's just a nasty interior defensive line with the guy they already have, and then you add Walter Nolan. He's not an edge, but everyone is saying Walter Nolan. So I'm letting y'all do some of this. Washington is on the clock. Oh, Detroit's on the clock. Detroit's on the clock. Center, guard, edge, and linebacker. This is Gray Zabel. This is Gray Zabel, right? Is this Gray Zabel? Man, that'd be a nasty pick for Detroit to just add him. You got Zabel, Connerly, edge. You got Ezeraku, Harmon to Detroit, Scorton, Zabel, Booker is still on the board. Tyler Booker, Nick Eamon Worry still on the board. Zabel fits. Zabel fits. Harmon or Zabel, coin flip. That's what everyone's saying. Harmon or Zabel. All right, Gray Zabel it is. Commanders are on the clock at 29. Receiver, they just traded for Debo. They just traded for Debo. I'm going to give y'all a couple of notable players that are still on the board that you can't see on the screen. Notable players. Tight ends, nobody really that's normally picked. Cornerbacks, we still have Maxwell Harrison on the board, 4-2 runner. We still have Nick Eamon Worry, the safety from South Carolina, on the board. Donovan Ezeraku, Nick Scorton, Darius Alexander, Josh Connerly still on the board. Tyler Booker is still on the board. Braden Swinson, who's been getting some hype, still on the board. Linebacker Carson Swessinger, still on the board. So just a couple. Kyle Kennard, a little disappointed with his runs on the first day. But, yeah, Emeka, Debo. There's no Emeka Egbuka to the Commanders now. Now, I do know they traded for Lattimore, but I think there's going to be another running back picked in round one. I really do. I think there's going to be another running back picked in round one. And I also think the Commanders are a team that could use a running back, but not right here. I don't think this is the spot right here. You've got Scorton, Ezeraku still on the board, edge rushers. And then you also have Darius Alexander up front. I think this is where they hit a home run with Jaden Daniels, and he can cover up with a little bit. He can cover up with a lot, right? You've got Brian Robinson. Eckler was fine. As much as I would love to put Omarion Hampton right here in Washington, I don't think that's the pick. I don't think that's the pick. I think you offensive line, edge rusher, in corner. Like I know you don't like it, but I think that's where they can lean and look, right? I think a surprise pick would no doubt be Hampton, but I'm not going to do it right here. Not going to do it right here. That offensive line is bad in Washington. Y'all, I know defense, we're talking about it, but the D line class is deep. I'm going interior O-line. You got Tyler Booker, and then you also still have Josh Connerly and Donovan Jackson available. I'm going Josh Connerly over Tyler Booker because Connerly's got that ability to play on the outside. They need fucking offensive line. Josh Connerly to Washington. Buffalo's on the clock at 30. They just re-signed Khalil Shakir, D-line, cornerback, linebacker, receiver, positions of need for Buffalo. Darius Alexander. Kind of like Darius Alexander. I've mocked Talik Williams there. Darius Alexander, a lot of buzz that he's going to be a first rounder. Nick Scorton. I know it says linebacker here, but Bills Mafia said y'all are good at linebacker. No linebackers. Let's go DB. Don't y'all need corner? Jahdae Barron was a pick that I've had. Man, got Maxwell right here. Some speed. Buffalo. Can I interest you in some Maxwell Harrison? Can I interest you? And I'm throwing it out there. What about Eamon Wari? Or is it a corner that y'all need? Is it corner? We don't need no damn safety. We need a corner. Alexander, high upside. I agree. Darius Alexander's ready to go too. It's between Darius Alexander or Maxwell Harrison. Siobhan Revel, need corner, and I'm from Buffalo. All right. I like Revel too, Trey, but we're gonna give the guy with the clean bill of ACL the go right here. We're going Maxwell. Maxwell Harrison. Kansas City's on the clock. Kansas City is on the clock. Now they put the tag on Trey Smith. Put the tag on Trey Smith so we know he's coming back. D-line tackle. Let's go show what tackles are available. You got Ariante Ursary, Donovan Jackson, Marcus Bowe, Jonas Sevenaya, probably guard, Marcus Bowe. We'll see. Let's pull up the D-line just so y'all can see. Let's go interior O-line. Tyler Booker's still available. Okay. Let's go D-line. I just want the people to see. Got Derek Harmon, Darius Alexander, Shamar Turner, Talik Williams. All on the board. Okay. Those are positions of need. Linebacker, you got Carson Schlesinger, Demetrius Knight. D-line, Derek Harmon feels like the safe should-be pick, right? I just they're going to be two, man. They're going to be two. This young man's 20 years old. Is it that I'm just asking you, he's probably the RB2 in this class. Is it better to take the RB2 and Omarion Hampton? Because Kansas City has a second round pick. They pick 64th, or they pick at the second to last pick in the next round. And who knows what they could do trading up. You got the RB2 versus the D lineman. What would he be? Derek Harmon? He's probably somewhere between people's, interior D line 3-4 right now. Maybe 4-5. We had Grant come off of the board. Mason Graham came off of the board. Walter Nolan. They say we need a back. No way the Chiefs don't boost up that offensive line after the Super Bowl. I hear you. What was the 21st pick? Who's picking 21? Luther Burden of Pittsburgh. Pacheco lost a step after that leg fracture. O-line should be the pick. You got Donovan Jackson on the board, right? Was able to play both tackle and guard. You're not taking Cam Williams. Stop it. You're not doing it. Tyler Booker, a guard. Nah, man, we ain't doing that. Omarion Hampton, come on down. You're going to Kansas City. I know they need a lot, but they also need a tone setter. You've got to get Mahomes playing the way he played when they had Kareem Hunt toting the rock. Omarion Hampton helps that. He's young, he's talented. Hey, it's gonna be rough now. You know, Kansas City. There's a lot of other teams coming. They gotta find a back. I gotta find a back. Omarion Hampton. I took him over Derek Harmon. I was fine with that. Philly's on the clock at 32. It says they need a guard. It says they need edge, cornerback, guard. What they don't really need anything, but you have Ezraku here, Emeka Egbuka here. Nick Ebenwari's available. I don't even know if they need a safety. You're an Eagles fan. Can I scroll down a bit? They say D-line. Can they use Ebenwari? Can they take? I want to get Ebenwari in the first. Like, he's going in the first. Sweat and Milton will be gone. Sweat and Milton will be gone. People are saying they're gone. All right, I'm pulling up the edge class now. They're saying Sweat and Milton will be gone, Ray. They're going to be gone. Where's the edge rushers at? I can't even. They say Sweat and Milton will be gone. I want edge. So we've got Ezraku, Nick Scorton, Ebenwari, Landon Jackson, Braden Swinson. It would be Scorton. Edge or corner to Philly. See, I need somebody that's being realistic here. Who said the Eagles need corner? People are like, they don't need corner. Man, wouldn't this just feel like a Howie Roseman pick? Like, I don't really know what he plays, but he fits the culture of our team, and we will figure it the fuck out. And if they do, good luck to that defense with a healthy Nakobe Dean, with Jalen Carter, with Cooper DeJean, Jordan Davis. And here's the thing. I'm just gonna say this before, because the pick is gonna be Nick Ebenwari. It's gonna be Nick Ebenwari. I just want to show you what's still available in the second round. Here are edge rushers that were not picked. Ezraku, Scorton, Landon Jackson, Braden Swinson, JTT, Jack Sawyer, Princely, Human Milan, Jared Ivey, Hosea Stewart, Jordan Birch, Elijah Roberts, who blazed, Ashton Gillette, Byron Sorrell. Those are all edge rushers who are still available. Round 2 and beyond. Let's just go D-line. All right? Let's get some of the big boys. Derek Harmon, Darius Alexander, TJ Sanders, Talik Williams, Shamar Turner, Alfred Collins, Omar Norman Lott, Josh Farmer, Dayon Walker, CJ West, Jordan Phillips, JJ Pegues, Jamari Caldwell, Tim Smith. Just interior defensive linemen that are still on the board and available. Class is nasty. Cornerbacks, Siobhan Revel, Darian Porter, Ezariah Thomas, Ben Morrison, Jacob Parrish, Kobe Bryant, Noel Williams. Man, it's just pick your flavor. But right here, the flavor of the day is Nick Ebenwari, Philadelphia Eagles. There it goes. One round. It almost took as long as a damn NFL mock. No commercial breaks. My throat. I ain't finna say nothing. Cam Ward went 101. Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Will Campbell, Shamar Stewart to Jacksonville at 5. Shador. Everyone says he should be a second-round pick. He goes 6 to the Raiders. Mason Graham, James Pierce, Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren, Josh Simmons, Will Johnson, Matthew Golden over Ted McMillan, Armand Mimbu, Jade Barron, Jalen Walker, Mike Green, followed by Michael Williams, Kelvin Banks, Jahad Campbell, Ashton Jeanty went 20th. to the Broncos. Luther Burden, 21 to the Steelers. Tyler Warren, 22 to the Chargers. Trey Amos to the Packers at 23. Ken Grant to the Vikes. Ted McMillan to the Houston Texans. Malachi Starks, Walter Nolan, Gray Zabel, Josh Connerly to the Commanders. Gray Zabel went to Detroit. Walter Nolan went to Baltimore. Malachi Starks went to LA. Maxwell Harrison went to Kentucky. Omarion Hampton to Kansas City, and Nick Eamon-Wari for Philly. Hey, this is I think we tried to maybe push Tet down to see how it would happen. I can definitely see a world where Dallas would take him at 12, but I also if any Cowboys fans are in here and you don't think there's a world where Jerry Jones and them would draft Matthew Golden over Ted McMillan, you're damn crazy. Because there's an absolute close, very real reality that would happen. Loveland over Warren. I haven't seen it in any mock yet, but I believe that is something that we will see. I guarantee you that. Who else? Trey Amos in the first, maybe probably the biggest reach. If I'm being real, probably Amos in the first was probably the biggest reach for Green Bay. Could have gone Gray Zabel right there. Genty to Denver, maybe not likely, but I also don't think that's how he got there. I don't think that's an unrealistic path, right? If Genty goes past Dallas, the Dolphins, the Colts, the Falcons, the Cardinals, maybe Cincy at 17. Like, are they really taking? Seahawks aren't taking them. Tampa Bay's probably not taking him. I can see a world if Genty goes past Dallas, he falls a little bit. And by fall, he's still the first running back off of the board, 20 to Denver. Tet to Houston. We just talked through how it happened, right? How it happens. And I think there's a world in which that does. So, anyways, I appreciate everybody pulling up, jumping in. 1,600 people between YouTube and X. Hit that thumbs up button. Like the content. That's all I ask y'all to do. If you want to join the community, there's links for that in the description. If not, I'll be here all the time talking ball. Again, appreciate y'all pulling up on this Saturday night. We still got more NFL Combine. The big boys run tomorrow, and I'm probably going to be on here once again talking ball after the Combine is over. And if not, you can catch me bright and early, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wake up with me and Jay Rich. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you, D-Walk. We had a super chat come in at the end from Jack DeWhite. Eamon-Wari was fired to my Eagles. Appreciate you, Jack. Appreciate all of y'all.